Very early in your career, you did some TV commercials. And I'm just curious, was that a surreal experience for you? And what kind of products did you help sell?
Well, I had vowed in drama school that I would never sink to the level of, you know, commercials or soap operas. And the year after I left, when I got tired of living on the bus, I said, I'm going to stay in New York and I'm going to make a living. And I learned very quickly that if you want to eat, you have to make a living. So I did a commercial and a soap opera that first year. I sold stuff like coffee and, I forget, Tom McCann shoes once. I was a dance instructor teaching a tango. What else? Coke? No, that never aired. I did a Diet Coke commercial, never aired, but it was awfully good. That's about it.
Kevin, I was interviewing David Schramm a couple months ago, and we were talking about John Houseman, the acting company. I'm just curious, I didn't realize that that company had gone on a cross-country tour to a lot of places. Now, what was that
For
like?
many years.
What was that like, spending all that time on the buses and visiting places a lot of people never see?
It was a wonderful gypsy life of, we're like pirates. We just kind of went into these towns and bringing our classical theater and finding the best audiences. They're not jaded, having seen it all, New York audiences. They were people who were thrilled who were seeing their first Restoration comedy or Shakespearean tragedy or whatever. And we all had our little caravan, and it was fun. After about 2 years, it started to wear a little thin, and after 4 years, I was out of there. I just couldn't live on a bus anymore.
When you're on the road that much, did you ever wake up not knowing what city you were in?
Frequently. Yeah, went on stage not knowing what play I was in. No, I'm kidding. we would do about 5 plays in repertory, and everyone thought, do you ever get confused? But in fact, one doesn't do that, no. Yeah, and most of the time we actually did know where we were, but there were times when we didn't care where we were, just how many more weeks before we get home.
Well, turning to French Kiss, you shot films in different parts of the world. When you're shooting in France, did you notice a difference in the way spectators reacted from, say, LA or New York?
Oh, spectators, oh yes. Well, everything is completely different in France. The French are very different. The way they make movies is different. In America, if you're doing an outdoor scene, you own the street. The police or the city's cooperating. They've closed down half the city if necessary. The French, they'd say, you're on your own, you know. Your extras, you have a few extras, but they're not going to get the people off the street. The French say, get out of my way. They say, excuse me, we're shooting here. Are you all in the cafe on the sidewalk there? Could you not look at the camera? And they're like, no, don't look at my croissant. Who cares about your stupid movie? You know, they're Parisian. They hate you anyway. So the attitude was, they were making a movie. Sometimes they would walk right into the shot, you know, and then you'd hear them, Madame, Madame, you know, dégagez, dégagez, s'il vous plaît. And, they just mutter. They don't care. They hate you.
I've eaten on a few movie sets, and the craft services food was always really good. When you go to France, does the food quality go up a notch, or?
Oh, I thought it was way up. Of course, a lot of food tastes better with 3 or 4 bottles of wine at lunch. So I couldn't really say. That's the other thing you don't get in America. You don't get wine every 2 feet on these big tables at lunch, and you don't get cheese, of course, and 3 desserts to choose from, and the food was very good. Very délicieux every day. It was wonderful.
Now, speaking of food, I got a question about the Oscars, and you helped me out before with a great story about Oscar statues. But when you go to the Academy Awards, I've always been curious, if people are hungry, is there a snack bar at the Oscars?
Backstage, there is. If you're out in the audience, you're on your own. And even if you have to get up and go to the bathroom, there's someone who comes running down, these professional seat fillers. Because God forbid someone should look out and see an empty seat in that impressive auditorium. So it's hard to find your seat often coming back. But no, you have to bring your own sandwich if you're going to eat. And it's a long, long evening.
And one quick final question with the Oscars. Everyone always talks about what the women are wearing and how much thought is given into that. As a guy, how much thought did you put into what you were going to wear the year you won the Oscar?
About a nanosecond. So I just go for I'll wear a tux, and I'm not going to do some tux with a difference. I'll just wear a tux. You know, it's easy. The men have it easy. It's really not fair. I'll wear a dress next time, maybe. And join in the fun.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.